Limit Break TCG, what is up? As mentioned in my last video for Shine Gray, I was taking a bit of a hiatus due to we were moving, but we are finally finished moving. We're in our house. We're 20 minutes away from our locals now instead of being an hour away from our locals. So hopefully I can bring you guys some more content, being around my buddies and being around our locals a little bit more. I can get some games, some deck profiles, different discussions and stuff like that. And I can post some more stuff, some better stuff on here for you guys. But going forward, here is a blue flare deck profile. I have been thinking about making a blue flare deck profile probably since Blue Flare came out in set 10. I was reluctant to do it at first because I didn't entirely understand how the deck worked. I knew you strip sources sometimes. I knew you stun things, that don't have sources or has less sources than you. I knew it was like a stun deck, but outside of that, I kind of didn't understand the niche behind the deck. Moving forward, I have been playing and play testing with the EX. What is it? Let's see. I have some cards off to the side. The EX4. I've been messing with the EX4 cards for some time, and I realized that they just make the deck a little bit more better. A little bit more better. So let's dive into this deck profile. This is the only deck I have double sleeved for some reason. I don't know why, because it's not even my favorite deck. You would think I would double sleeve my favorite deck. But anyway, so we play 5 babies. We play 4 Upas. Upa's just a good blue baby. 4 Upas, when attacking. If you have an opponent's Digimon with no sources, draw a card. That happens a lot, Sometimes they play rookies just to start their turn. Sometimes they play dude with no sources, or we strip their sources, and then we start swinging, and we just get that draw. And then our 5th baby, on deletion. I need to stop yawning. Give me some drink. Okay. Missymon, on deletion if you have another Digimon in play, draw a card. So these all draw us a card in some way, shape, or form. And then next we have 4 of the Gaussmon, the older one, where it's on deletion. You may play a level 4 Digimon card with blue flare that traits from your hand unsuspended without paying its cost. So this is a card we don't care if it dies. We're playing things for free, popping off effects. It's a good time. Next, we play a Gaussmon, and it says once per turn, when a card with blue flare is being played, draw 1 card. And then the other effect, I don't think we do. When a card with Twilight Editor's trait is played, return one of your opponent's Digimon. Return one of your Digimon cards with Digicross requirements from your trash to your hand. I don't think that pops off. I don't think we have any Twilights in here. But yeah, so whenever you play a Digimon with blue flare in its name, you draw a card. So, you play this, you play another blue flare, you draw a card. And then lastly, for our rookies, we don't play too many rookies in this deck, because we have a lot of level 4s that are, they don't cost much. Our last level 4s, let me put it down, okay, is Madoki Beta. All turns, your opponent can't gain memory except for Tamers. Yeah, sorry. Next, our level 4s. We have a pretty extensive level 4 list. Just bear with me. We play 4 of the Mailbird Dramon. Mailbird Dramon. From set 10. And it says, on play, if you have a Korea Enuma, which I think is Christopher Enuma also. It was errata. If you have a Korea in play, you may return a Metal Grid from your trash to your hand. If you don't have a Korea in play, you may play a Korea from your hand without paying its cost. On deletion, save. And what save is you may place this card under one of your tamers whenever it's deleted. You may place this card underneath one of your tamers. And then its inheritable is when attacking. If this Digimon has blue flare in its traits and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block till the next, to the end of your opponent's next turn. So there's some of the stun that you'll see more of in this deck. Next we have only 2. I am thinking about bumping this up to 3. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably I might do this, put a third one. But this Male Birdramon evolves for 3, and the other ones are 2, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. On play, one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost gain when attacking, lose 2 memory for the turn, to the end of the turn. So basically, it's your opponent's lowest play cost Digimon gets Ice Walled. Basically, is all it is. And then on deletion, save as well. And then its inheritable is jamming, which is really neat because this deck's DP rarely gets over 11k. So a lot of things can kill us that are 12k or more in security. So jamming really helps with that, which is also why I'm thinking about bumping the jamming up to at least the 3rd, probably not a 4th. I feel like 3 and 3 would be okay. But this is where we're at now, and it's actually really, really good. I think that's all for our male birds. Let's move on, because we have a lot of level 4s. I need to space them out a little bit and organize them somehow. So those are all of our male birds. Next, we play Greymons. We play 4 of the Bt13 Greymon that says, on play, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 2 cards with blue flare, and their traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck. If you have a Kuria Anuma in play, you may return a Metal Gray from your hand or from your trash to your from your trash to your head. And then inheritable when attacking, if you have blue flare to traits, and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon, you may unsuspend this Digimon, for it to swing again or something like that. And then next we play 1 of the new blue Greymons, which is on play, you reveal top 3, add a Kuria and a blue or black card with the Digicross requirements among them to your hand. On deletion, save 1. This also has on deletion, save 1. I forgot to mention that. And when attacking, not once per turn, when attacking, draw a card. So even if you swing and you unsuspend, you will draw for both attacks. So this, when attacking, draw, good consistency. And then we play 1 of the red starter deck Greymons from Back of the Gap. Still a good card. I think it will always probably be a good card. Especially in red aggro style stuff. Inheritable. Gain a security, you get a security attack +1. Man, I don't know why I'm slurring. Inheritable gets security attack +1. I would play more of this, but we do have a Metal Gray. Because before, the Bt13 Metal Gray just says Greymon and Mailbird Dramon. So we could use this. We utilized this a lot back whenever we only had that Metal Gray. Now we have another Metal Gray that says you need a blue Greymon and Mailbird Dramon for the Digicross. So we bumped this down from 2 to 1, and we added one of the new Greymons to it. So that's all of the Greymons. Lastly, for our level 4s, well, not quite lastly, but almost lastly, we play 3 Decker Dramons, because whenever we evolve into Decker Greymon, we'll need a Decker Dramon underneath them to do one of his effects that's really good. It's a stun effect. So for Decker Dramon on play, draw 1, and then for each of your opponent's Digimon in play, draw 1. So imagine throwing this card down against D-Brigade, Bloom Lordmon, any deck that goes really wide. We'll play this for 5, we'll draw 1, and then let's say they have 5 dude on board, we'll draw 5 cards. That's pretty crazy. And then on deletion, save, and then all turns when your opponent has 2 or more Digimon, this Digimon gets 1k. So, we get 1K here, get 1K there. You know, we're not getting too big. Then lastly, we play one hybrid Kumamon. When this Digimon may Digivolve onto a tamer as a level 3 Digimon. And then when a Digivolving, trash one of your opponent's Digi Evolution sources. So we play a lot of blue tamers, you know. This is, you know, hybrid for game, you know. The old joke. Okay. Play 4 of the old Metal Greymons. Metal Grey says material save. So if he dies or if this top gets deleted, we take 2 of his sources and we put them underneath the tamer. And on play, this Digimon gains rush for the turn. Then if Digi-Crossing, 3 of your opponent's Digimon with less than or equal to this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards can't attack or block. So it's stun. And Digi-Crossing is Greymon, any Greymon. That's why we use the red one. It can be the red one. And Male Birdramon reduces the play cost by 2 for each. So if we put a Greymon and a Male Birdramon, it decreases it by 2 plus 2 by 4. You know, simple maths. 7 minus 4. We play this for 3. Play this for 3, gains rush, stun stuff. It's incredible. Crazy stuff. And then our other Metal Greymon we play is the 2 from the EX4. On play, gains rush. If Digi-Crossing, trash up to 2 of your opponent's Digi-Evolution cards for one of your opponent's Digimon. Similar to the last one, material save 2, so if it dies, you place 2 of its sources underneath the tamer. And Digi-Crossing needs a blue Greymon and a Male Birdramon. So this is why we had to take the red Greymon down a notch and add another blue gray, because these two, you need to use a blue gray to evolve. And then it has an inheritable. We don't use it. We don't play Grey Knightsmon in this deck. But you definitely could if you wanted to. When attacking, this Digimon has Grey Knightsmon as one of your opponent's Digimon with 3 or fewer Digi-Evolution cards. Can't attack or block. Can't attack, I think. I think it's just attack. Yeah, can't attack to the end of your opponent's turn. So it's stun if you go into Grey Knightsmon. We don't play Grey Knightsmon. Again, you definitely could. We just don't. You know, it's just, I feel like our level 5s are just fine enough as it is. Lastly, for our Digimon, which we got a thick thing of non-Digimon. We'll go through that in a little bit. Lastly, our Digimon Decker Gray. It has Armor Purge, and it can evolve on a level 4 for 4, or it can evolve on a level 5 for 2. It has Armor Purge, which, if you don't remember what Armor Purge does, is if it's deleted, basically the top card is trashed. Instead, so it has Armor Purge on play and when Digivolving. You may place a Digimon card with Blue Flare and its traits from your hand, from under one of your tamers at the bottom of the Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards. Then, if Deckardramon is in this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that effect doesn't even care about your opponent's sources like our Greymon does, like our Metal Greymon does. It just says if Decker's underneath this, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block, period. It doesn't matter if it has equal to or less sources. Doesn't matter if it's got a bunch of sources. It just can't attack or block, period. And then rarely we do the Digicross. Digicross 2, Metal Gray, and a Deckardramon for -2 and 2. So that we play this for 5. But, you know, it won't have rush or anything like that. We don't typically play this for Digicross. We can if we wanted to, though. If the situation arises that we need to do that, we will do it. But ultimately, we're just evolving it on top of a dude and making a bigger stack dude to swing for days and stun stuff. Alright, now to our non-Digimon package. We play 3 Korea Aonumas. He is our start of turn set to 3. And when you would play a Digimon with Digicross cards by Digicross requirements, by suspending this Digimon, this tamer, I'm sorry, by suspending this tamer, you may use the Digimon cards underneath it for Digicross. So, yeah, when you would play Digimon with Digicross requirements, by suspending this tamer, you may place cards from under your tamers as Digi-Evolution cards for the Digicross. Okay, so yeah. So all that saving that you're going to be doing, putting underneath him, if you want a Digicross, you tap him, and you can use the cards underneath him for the Digicross as well. And being that he's our set to 3, we put him at 3. I thought about maximizing him to 4, but I felt like 3 was fine. And our other one, we played 2 of this. This is Korea Enuma and Nene Amato. And if you remember from our Dark Knight deck profile, Nene is the tamer for him. But let's see. So the name of this card is also Korea Anuba Nene Amato. Start of your main phase if there are 2 or more Digimon in play. Now that's you and your opponent. That's if there's 2 or more Digimon in play total. So if I have 1 and your opponent has none, you don't get the effect. If your opponent has 1 and you have none, you don't get the effect. If you have 1 and your opponent has 1, you will get the effect. It's just if there are 2 or more Digimon in play combined between both of you. Gain a memory. And then all turns if you play a Digimon with Blue Flare or Twilight with and its traits with Digimon loose Digicross requirements, by suspending this tamer, you may place 1 card from under your tamers. Doesn't have to be this tamer, just under your tamers. And 1 card from your trash as the Digi-Evolution cards for Digicross. So it helps us grab stuff from the trash to Digicross as well, just making it, a little bit better. That way, if maybe it died earlier on in the game and we want to get it back, like our Greymons or our Deckers and stuff like that, we could grab one from the trash with that effect. And then lastly for our tamers, we play Sora Joe. Sora Joe's still a good card. If your opponent has start of turn, if your opponent has a Digimon with no sources in play, gain 2 memories. So it helps us, especially if we have 3, and then we have this, we'll go to 5. If they have something with no sources. And then when you attack, you may suspend this to trash 2 sources from your opponent's Digimon. Mainly, I decided I wasn't going to play this at all, and I was probably going to just do 4 and 4, or 4 and 3. But I decided to keep this in here because big stack decks are going to be pretty dominant going forward. Just look at our Shine Gray profile. That's going to have pretty much a full stack. Machine Dramon decks have the biggest stack. Bloom Lord, stuff like that. Decks are going to be a little bit more having sources. And sources that are very powerful and give them, an edge. So we're going to want to be swinging and then trashing 2 sources from them. Also helping us if your opponent, our Digicrossing, if they have less than or equal to sources than us, we can stun them. So it helps our stun play. It also helps us trash their sources that could cause problems for us later on in the game. And then now we go for the options. Options are pretty straightforward. 1 Ice Wall. We should all know what Ice Wall does. Costs 1. All of your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking -2 memory. That's a status effect. So even if you play it, they have no Digimon. When they play their Digimon next turn, it will still have the when attacking lose 2 memory because it is a static effect. So we play our 1 Ice Wall since it's at 1. 2 Howling Memory Boosters. Trash the top 2. Trash up to 2 cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no sources can't attack or block till the opponent's next turn. Then place this card in your battle area. And then its delay is gain memory. So delay next turn, you kill it off, you gain 2 memory. As well as stunning. And then of course we play 4 of probably this card needs to be 4 of in every Blue Flare deck ever. It is such a good card, such a busted card, but it's only for Blue Flare. Reveal top 6 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards with Blue Flare among them traits, and you may play a Christopher A. Manuma among them without paying its cost. Play the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, then place this card in your battlefield. So something to realize with this is you look at the top 6. You can add 2 cards with Blue Flare among them to your hand, and play a Christopher Aonuma from from the 6 that you grabbed as well. So you don't have to add the 2, and then if Christopher is one of the 2 cards you add, you play him. No, you look at the top 6, you add 2, then from among the 6 that you revealed, if there's a Christopher or a Korea Aonuma, you may play it without paying its cost. Then you play the rest of the bottom of the deck. So that's something to think about. You go 6 deep. You could play a Korea for free if you see one, and you could grab 2 blue flare cards. Now, if you reveal top 6, and 4 of those aren't blue flare, and you only got, like, let's say a blue flare card and a Christopher Aonuma, then you have to play Christopher Aonuma from that, and then you'll just draw the 1 card. But, you know, a lot of the decks blue flare will usually hit the 2 and then play the Courier for free. We don't always play the Courier for free, but it does happen. And then also our Mailbird from earlier also plays Courier for free if we have him in our hand as well. So we're typically playing a Courier for free, not really worrying about it too much. But yeah, that's our blue flare deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a very, very control, very stun type of deck. It likes to stall your opponent while we're doing little tit-for-tat hits. But it is really fun. It's not so much fun for your opponent because if you stun them hard enough or stun them normally enough, they're not going to be having a good time. But I think this deck is a trip. I love it. It's one of my favorite decks right now to play as far as control. I'm a big aggro player. Aggro has always been my go-to. The only time I'll ever lean towards control in a game or a TCG is if it's a mill strategy. Milling is the only control strategy that I really, really love. And I do in every card game that allows it. I've played mill in Dragon Ball Super, Janemba. I've played mill in Pokemon. I've played mill in Magic the Gathering. I play mill in Magic the Gathering. And Digimon also has milling now too with the purple red Guilmon line, and I'm going to be probably giving you guys a video of that soon as well. So this is like my first control deck for a while that's not mill, because like I said, normally I'm an aggro player unless mill is involved. So but yeah, this is a neat little breath of fresh air. When I'm not wanting to play brain dead aggro like ooga booga, just hit big hits. This is kind of a little bit more methodical, which is a good change of pace for me sometimes. But that is the Blue Flare deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. Stick a like in the comment. Stick a like and let me know what you like and what you want to see in the comments. What would you change? Would you change anything? Do you like playing Blue Flare? Do you hate playing Blue Flare? Do you hate going against Blue Flare? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear it all. I want to hear I want to hear your gripes. I want to hear your triumphs. I want to hear everything, good, bad, ugly. Just keep it professional. Keep it safe for work. Don't be mean. But we're always in good conversation. We don't take everything to heart. Not everything's an argument. We like a good little, we like conversation. We like conversation, especially when it comes to decks and games, different ideas. Because, there's not just one way to play something. When it comes to any card game, really. There's always little niches and little options you can choose to do. But anyway, that's my Blue Flare deck. I hope you guys like it. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see some more Limit Break TCG content. Like I said, we moved recently. That's why I haven't been having videos out. But we used to be about an hour away from our locals. Now we're only 20 minutes away from our locals. So we probably should be getting more content. And also more often, Well, I hope you guys like it. Until next time, Limit Break TCG. Peace.